Today, we'll visit Dublin, Ireland. Hi there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English for Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Every episode of Plain English helps you upgrade your English skills. We tell stories about current events, trending topics, and once in a while, about the English-speaking world. Today, we're replaying episode 539, which was all about Dublin, the capital of the Republic of Ireland. I visited for a long weekend before the pandemic, and I created an episode based on what I learned. And today we are revisiting that episode. It was number 539, so the full package of Plain English learning resources is at plainenglish.com/539. plainenglish.com/539. Before we start today's story, I'd just like to remind you that the podcast is just one part of how we can help you upgrade your English skills. At plainenglish.com, you can make faster progress with active learning strategies. You can take quizzes, do activities, listen to the fast version of the audio, watch video workshops, practice what you learn, and even join a live call with JR and me. It's all about helping you build your skills to become a better, more confident English speaker. Sound good? Go to plainenglish.com to start your free 14-day trial today. Now, let's jump into today's story. Dublin is the capital of the Republic of Ireland. It was first settled in the 9th century. The Vikings named it Dublin, meaning black pool. The city today is home to over 1 million people. Dublin is English-speaking in a time zone that overlaps with North America and Asia, and it's relatively low cost compared to London. Ireland's corporate taxes are low too. Those factors combined to attract a lot of international companies, from accounting firms to tech companies like Google, Facebook, and Airbnb. Dublin is on the eastern coast of the Emerald Isle, as Ireland is known. It's the capital of the Republic of Ireland, an independent country that's part of the European Union. Northern Ireland includes 6 counties on the island that opted to remain part of the United Kingdom. Dublin is located where the River Liffey meets the Irish Sea. The river divides the city between north and south. The center of Dublin straddles the river. Several bridges cross the river. The most famous is the Halfpenny Bridge. Before the bridge was built in 1816, residents crossed the river by ferry. The bridge was built by a private businessman. The city gave him the right to charge a halfpenny toll, a half a penny, to all pedestrians for 100 years. The toll was removed in 1919, but the bridge is a popular way for pedestrians to cross the river even now. I recommend you start your day in Dublin with a full Irish breakfast. You can get them in pubs, restaurants, and cafes. Come hungry. A full Irish includes bacon, eggs, potatoes, baked beans, toast, tomatoes, mushrooms, and pudding. And in case you're curious, The pudding in Ireland is not a dessert, but a form of sausage. This hearty dish used to give farm workers the energy they needed for a full day's work. These days, it's more likely to be consumed on a Saturday or Sunday morning. If you want the true Irish experience, skip the coffee and get an Irish breakfast black tea instead. One of Ireland's greatest gifts to the world is its literature. James Joyce, Oscar Wilde, Frank McCourt, and Jonathan Swift were Irish. Some of my favorite Irish writers are William Trevor, John Banville, Colm Toibin, and, recently, Sally Rooney. A new museum called the Museum of Literature Ireland shows the history of writing in Ireland over 1,500 years. You can also visit the James Joyce Centre, the National Print Museum, and the pubs that these famous writers frequented. One thing I liked about Ireland is that there are bookshops everywhere. One rainy day, I ducked into a pub in the early afternoon. I ordered a pot of Irish breakfast tea. I had a book with me, but I noticed there were books on the shelves next to my table. It was a bookshop inside a pub. I picked one book off the shelf, Bullfighting. It was a collection of stories by Roddy Doyle. I had never heard of him before. I started reading and I got hooked. I bought the book, and Roddy Doyle is now one of my favorite Irish writers. If you like beer, then I recommend going to the Guinness Storehouse, the site of the original Guinness Brewery. Arthur Guinness established his brewery in St. James's Gate, Dublin, Ireland, in 1759. This was a man who planned ahead. He signed a 9,000-year lease at £45 a year. The company later purchased the land outright. You can never be too sure. And then they expanded the facility. Guinness was once the world's largest brewer. It no longer is, but it's the largest brewer of stout. The tour takes you through the history of the company, the history of the product, and you can pour your own Guinness beer too. If you prefer whiskey, Dublin has something for you too. You can visit the Jameson Irish Whiskey Distillery, where you can take a tour, learn how to make a good cocktail, and enjoy a tasting session. If macro distilleries aren't for you, then there are whiskey tours that will take you to the city's many smaller distilleries. But honestly, the best place to drink in Dublin is at one of Ireland's famous pubs. Pub is short for public house. Years ago, upper-class men went to private clubs to drink. The entrance fees were too high for the working man, and you can forget about letting women in. So the working classes went to the public house or the pub. The Irish pub is famous as a community center, a place where anyone is welcome. During the day, you'll find people sipping a beer and reading a book. At night, groups of friends come in after work. As the night goes on, the crowd gets rowdier. The pub is also a great place to enjoy one of Ireland's other gifts to the world, its music. In many cities, if you want to enjoy live music, you should find a website or a magazine with times, dates, and locations. In Dublin, you just walk around and pop your head into the many pubs. They all seem to have live music. Some have traditional Irish sessions, others more modern bands. Stop in at a pub, order a beer, and listen to a few songs. If you want to hear something else, then just wander down the street until you hear something you like. Temple Bar is the popular neighborhood to go out and visit the pubs. There are some non-alcoholic things to do in Dublin too. St. Stephen's Green is a magnificent public park in the center of Dublin. Grafton Street is a delightful pedestrian street with the city's best shopping. The food in Ireland is excellent. There are 6 Michelin star restaurants, but you don't need to go to a famous restaurant to get a good meal in this city, which is truly a European melting pot. Trinity College was founded in Dublin in 1592 by Queen Elizabeth I, when Ireland was part of the UK. The library at Trinity College is a major attraction today. There are 2 stories of floor-to-ceiling wooden bookshelves, the volumes only accessible from a sliding ladder. The stacks are also decorated with busts of famous Irish writers. I also recommend taking at least one castle tour. Dublin Castle is the biggest, but there are others in the area. I went to Malahide Castle, about half an hour away. You can take a tour of the inside and later walk the extensive landscaped grounds outside. Malahide Castle, for example, was built in 1185 and has had a tumultuous history. St. Patrick's Cathedral is the home of the Church of Ireland. You can stop in for a visit. Catholics can also attend Mass there. The city has a number of good museums, including art and history. One other one to note, the Irish Emigration Museum, which tells the story of Irish people who have emigrated and brought their culture around the world. I had a good time. I had a very, very good time in Dublin. A wet time. It rained the entire trip, but a good time. The food was good, the Guinness was fresh, and the music was loud. If you're in Europe and you want a weekend destination, I do recommend Dublin. It's easy to get to from most places in Europe, but I'll warn you, the Irish accent can be hard to understand, even for me. Well, that's all for us here on this episode. We'll be back next week with 2 great episodes. I've created them already, and I can't wait for you to hear them. That's next week on Monday and Thursday. See you then. Listen up if you speak Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, or Turkish. One of the most frustrating things about listening and reading in a second language is being confused by unfamiliar words or phrases. When you listen to plain English, or when you read the transcript, you probably encounter some words you don't know. When that happens, you have a few options. You can stop the audio, go look up the definition, then return to the episode, find your place, and press play again, but that's exhausting. Or you can just skip it and be confused. That's no fun either. But what if you could see the translation of the word into your language instantly without having to stop the audio, without having to look anything up? Well, you can at plainenglish.com. For each episode, we translate about 100 words and phrases from English to 9 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, and Turkish. And we highlight those words in blue. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the highlighted word and you'll see the translation instantly. It works great on mobile too. It really makes listening a lot more satisfying, and it's a great way to expand your vocabulary in English. The best way to see these translations is to sign up for a free 14-day trial at plainenglish.com. During your trial, you can read as many transcripts as you like, all with the translations into your language. So sign up for your free trial today at plainenglish.com.